Oh, hello, this is Tak Chung from Walk with Tak. My YouTube channel is designed to help you to develop a cooking system that you can cook every day in 30 minutes from scratch using all fresh ingredients to create a meal for 2 and up to 6 people. This channel is important is because the significance of fast and ultra-processed food on our health. We need to find a viable cooking system so that we can't replace ultra-processed food with home-cooked meals that cook from scratch using all fresh ingredients. In order to achieve that, I decided that it is important for you to have a system. And I use a cooking system, I call it the fast cooking system. And in this cooking system, stir-frying is the key. Now, stir-frying, of course, requires wok, but the wok has many other cooking functions as well. For example, a wok can be used for steaming using a bamboo steamer. But I discovered this other method that you can also steam in a wok as effective for different types of situations. For example, in this case, the simplest way to steam is that using a steam rack that you can put at the bottom of the wok. And this will allow you to put a plate. And if your wok comes with a cover, such as a Cuisinart stainless steel 14-inch wok, then you can use this wok as a steamer in a very little changes that you have to make. And in here, I demonstrate how to steam an egg. And this actually is like a quiche, which I call it a steamed quiche. This dish is very easy and simple to prepare. It only takes about 5 minutes to set it up. I call it a one-dish meal because it contains all the ingredients that you need to make a full meal. Okay, let's go into the kitchen. I'm going to show you how to set it up. It's just very simple. The first thing I do is that I get some plastic wrap. Now, the importance of the plastic wrap is that it prevents the egg to stick to the bottom of the dish. And it's interesting that how, if you don't have it, the egg will stick to the dish and it makes it very difficult for it to clean later on. So all I have to do here is to use some plastic wrap and I put it over a dish that is large enough to contain all the ingredients that I need to cook this dish. And once I put the plastic wrap into it, it makes it much better in terms of cleaning up later on. Now this dish is basically a template and that you can use it to cook many other type of steamed dish as you would like. In this video, I'm going to demonstrate the ingredients that I put in that is suitable for what we looking for this dish. But you can make any changes that you want. And this is what I call flavor chasing, because with flavor chasing, you can create ingredients exactly adapted to your own personal preference. And it is very important when you cook, the ability to create a flavor that you love and enjoy. It is what makes home cooking sustainable. And home cooking is always a compromise between what you prefer and what other people in your family prefer. Cooking for other people is extremely important for me. Now, I do not used to like ginger as much as I do now. The reason is that because I never had ginger cooked in many different ways. And when I discovered that my wife loved the flavor of ginger, I started to explore many different ways to cook ginger. And because of this, I started to like ginger much more than I once used to be. So in this case, I'm going to cut the ginger into tiny small strips. So you will still be able to taste the flavor of the ginger, but it will not be overwhelming. And this is what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to start out in preparing this egg dish. So the first of all is that I'm going to put the ginger in a bowl. I'm going to beat the egg directly into the ginger and I'm going to beat up the egg. Now, placing the ginger in with the egg will give the egg a nice ginger flavor. Now, since this dish is going to be a dish for both my wife and I, and we're going to use it as a single dish for our dinner, I'm going to use quite a few eggs. I'm going to use a total of 7 eggs. Now, you can use more or less eggs depending on your own personal preference and also on how big you want the dish to be. And if you want this dish to be small, then you can put in less number of eggs. And to season the egg, you can use many different approaches. You can use just simply salt and pepper. But I discovered the best way to make this dish taste great is to increase the savory of the egg. And the best way to do that is to use my Walk with Tak basic seasoning mix. Now this seasoning mix is designed to enhance the natural flavor of the food ingredients, therefore it do not have a very strong flavor. Instead of it will add umami flavor to the dish. And here is the description of all the components that is available in this seasoning mix. And I have this seasoning mix available on Amazon, and you can take a look and give it a try because I think you will find it will greatly enhance the flavor of the egg. This seasoning works excellently with eggs, but it works with many other food ingredients as well when you have to increase the savoriness of the egg. You can adjust the texture of the egg by adding different amount of water to the egg. If you want the egg to be firm, then you do not add any water at all. But most of the time, if you want the egg texture to be a bit softer, then you can add water to it. And by adding different amount of water, you can control the texture of the egg. You can make it softer by adding more water, or if you want it to be firmer, you add a little bit less water. Now, one thing that once you have all this all ready is that you want to choose a bowl that is large enough to accommodate the amount of the eggs that you have. This dish is very flexible because you can add different ingredients to create this dish. In this case, I'm going to add some broccoli. Now I'm going to cut the broccoli into relatively small pieces so that it will bend well into the egg. Instead of broccoli, you can use many other type of ingredients such as cauliflower, asparagus, green beans, or any type of ingredients that you can think of. Now, of course, you have to take in considerations that whatever you add will be able to cook within the amount of time that you want to steam the egg. The method that I'm going to show you is that you can actually steam the egg for different amount of time without greatly affect the texture of the egg. So you have a lot of flexibility, and this makes this dish an excellent template to include different kind of food ingredients that you want. Now in this case, in addition to the broccoli, I'm going to add a protein. Again, you can choose many different kind of proteins, and the protein I'm going to add is some bacon. This thick bacon, which I purchase mainly for this type of purpose. I do not normally fry the bacon, and I cut the bacon into small pieces. That's how I freeze them. So when I'm ready to use it, I can easily put them into whatever dishes that I want. The bacon will add great flavor to the eggs. But the other type of proteins you can also use, as ham would be a great one to substitute the bacon. Again, ham will provide great flavor. I'm also going to add some mushroom. One of the best mushroom I find that in this type of dish is shiitake mushroom. And I use shiitake mushroom extensively because of its convenience. Shiitake mushroom comes already dehydrated. So you can keep them for almost as long as you would like. So when you're ready to use the shiitake mushroom, you will rehydrate them. And in this case, I'm going to cut them up into small pieces so that I can put them directly into the egg. And last but not the least, I'm going to top the dish with some scallions. I always have scallions on hand. And when you cut the scallions into strips, they actually have excellent shelf life. They can last for up to 2 weeks. So this is very convenient, and having them available is great. So now the dish is ready. You can see it is a fairly large dish. I already have the water boil in my wok, so I put the egg dish directly over a steam rack that I have in the wok. Now this is my Cuisinart 14-inch stainless steel wok, and it works perfect. I can use dishes of different sizes. And next I put a silicone cover over the dish. This cover turned out to be really handy because it allowed me to basically seal the dish. But instead of this type of cover, you can use a plastic wrap instead. It will do pretty much the same thing. Okay, now the dish is ready, and my wok has a glass cover. So I put the glass cover over the entire wok, and this worked out perfect. I'm going to steam this for about 20 minutes. Now, 20 minutes later, the dish is ready. I'm going to check it to make sure the egg is steamed all the way through. And I know it will because 20 minutes is quite a long time for steam an egg. Okay, now I remove my silicone cover. You can see that the dish is steamed really well. And I'm going to use a chopstick and to test, make sure that the inside of the egg is steamed properly. And everything is ready. Now the dish is ready to serve. I'm going to put some soy sauce over the dish. And you can decide how much soy sauce that you want to use after you do some experimentation of how salty you want the dish to be. And okay, the dish is ready. And if you like quiche, you probably would like this dish. I personally enjoy this dish very much. It has a lot of flavor, and on top of that, it has a wonderful texture as shown here. So what I want to show you is that this is a template that you can use for modifications and to create many different versions of it. So instead of using recipe, a template-based cooking will allow you to cook with greater flexibility. So if you'd like to learn more about my fast cooking system, please subscribe to this YouTube channel. And if you have any specific question for me, you can write to walkwithtak@gmail.com. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. So keep on cooking. I will see you tomorrow.